So for those of us in a transformational listening circle, we always start our meetings with a community of practice statement, and we're essentially stating our commitments to the circle, and affirming why we're there, what our purpose is. And one of the things that we say is that we are there to heal and transform ourselves and the world. And it's supposed to be in that order. We have to transform ourselves first. We can't really be what the world needs us to be until we stop creating dysfunction and pain within ourselves. But we also don't want to get stuck in that space of me getting better, me feeling better. It's a wonderful side effect. But we can't forget the next step, which is we are all called to serve and to aid in the transformation of humankind. It's a big call, but I believe it with all my heart. We're called to serve in small ways, to feed, to clothe, to help people find shelter. And we're also called to help change the world. So I'm going to read from Jeff Foster, The Way of Rest, tonight. But first, I want to say that I'm going to be going deeper into a practice, particularly on Thursday mornings. I'm going to be going deeper into a exploration and practice of really how a very high level of the possibility of transforming the world. And I'm going to focus on it on Thursday mornings because that's the place where there are the most people that are really committed to the practice, and they've been practicing a long time and doing the practice a lot. All are welcome, of course, and it will be recorded. But so Jeff says, every single day, all of the world suffering beyond comprehension. How to hold the world's pain in your fragile heart. Ignore it, deny it, pass it off as mere illusion, tell yourself it's not really my problem. Label others as wrong and evil, and yourself as separate from them. Close your heart even more. Focus on what's wrong in this world, and you may feel afraid, paralyzed, helpless, full of rage. Focus on what's right with the world, and you may just be burying your head in the sand. Beyond right and wrong, there's a field of indescribable light. Focus on that field. Beyond right and wrong, there's a field of indescribable light. focus on that field. I'm going to invite us to take a moment right now to imagine a space where right and wrong does not exist. A space where no one thing is better than the other thing. It's a field of what is. And it's an indescribable light. So see if you can begin to sense the light. Focus on that light. Focus on the world that burns in your heart. Focus on the love that you have for the world that burns in your heart. Acknowledge reality, yes. Acknowledge all of our problems and use that to let the light burn even more brightly, to love even more unconditionally, to forgive even more radically, to extinguish every ounce of violence in yourself, and to recognize that violence doesn't mean we want to go up and slug somebody. That hatred, belittling, there's so many ways to do violence in the world. Even a tiny candle can begin to illuminate a vast cavern. Even our smallest effort matters. Nothing is tiny in the eyes of the universe. Feel that statement for a moment. How often we feel so small in the face of all that's challenging. See if you can find some truth in there's nothing tiny in the eyes of the universe. And certainly I know there is nothing tiny in the eyes of love. All of it matters. So let's practice surrendered presence together. We begin by affirming the presence of love here with us. We recognize that we are in love, just like a drop of water is in the ocean. So we take a breath in, And as we let it out, we become that drop that falls into the ocean and becomes fully one with it. And in this oneness, we are still both this being, us, and we are also fully love. We are not separate. Try not to struggle with the concept. See if you can just feel your oneness in and with love. And from this place, I invite you to simply begin to notice your own experience. To notice whatever it is that's happening in your being right now. And when you notice it, to name it silently to yourself. Just beginning to kind of mark your own presence, how your presence has grown since we began the practice. And now we move to our next step and deepen, solidify that presence through the body. So we feel our feet, our ankles, our lower legs. We feel our knees, upper legs, hips, and our pelvis. We notice our belly, both the outside, the muscles, and all the layers. We notice the inside, all the organs working to take such perfect care of us. We notice her chest. And our beating heart. Noticing your shoulders, your upper arms, and your elbows. Your lower arms and your hands. And noticing your back beginning down at the tailbone, following the spine up the back, so that you experience the muscles, the bones, the scapula. You notice the neck, the scalp, and your face. And then you notice yourself as one whole physical being. And really let yourself rest in your body for this next moment. Feeling what it feels like to be here now in your body. Allowing our body to hold us and ground us. We can then include an awareness of our heart. And to recognize that it is our heart that aches when we suffer, when others suffer. And so to invite our hearts to show themselves to us, to open to us. We tenderly hold our own hearts. And if we're able, we open our hearts to other tender hearts. The heart is actually very powerful, actually quite limitless. It's only us that puts limits on its ability to hold and to love. Just see how your heart may be able to open and extend this evening. See what is possible to include. And now notice yourself as spirit. When your heart is aching, when your body is exhausted, your spirit is your aliveness, your energy, your flow. Through your spirit, you tap in to the energy of the universe. See if you can practice that here for a moment. And lastly, noticing your mind. It is the mind through which the ego often arises. It may have lots of things to say about keeping your heart open and what's possible. Just notice. And now feeling yourself as one whole being. Body, spirit, mind, heart. Feel your deep presence. When we know this deep presence, when it's so familiar to us, we can stay present in suffering, our own and others. And now feel the way the earth is drawing you into itself, the way your being is being held here now. And because you're held, you can begin to let go. You can allow your being to relax and turning to the breath, letting the breath deepen our surrender, deepen our letting go by following that out breath and feeling the practice of surrender. And when you're ready, letting go of all thought, of all instruction, letting yourself go into a space of simple being in love. There is nothing to do here. There is only being. And this being in the face of suffering can change the world. Thank you all so much for being here tonight, practicing with me, and supporting my own practice. I love you all.